So, I finally got my hands on the Creator 5 after months of waiting, and I was actually supposed to get it a while ago, but some things happened with logistics, and surprisingly, it wasn't a shipping issue. Flashforge did send me this printer, but no money exchanged hands, and even if this were a paid sponsorship, I'd still roast it if it sucked. Now, unfortunately, I only have vertical footage of the unboxing and setup, so bear with me as I talk over it. The first thing is to take all of the hardware out of the box. The first piece we're putting on is the screen, and then we're going to tighten that down. The next step is to put all the extruder blockers in place. Now we can attach the extruders, which are all linked on one piece, to the side of the printer, and then we can screw it down. Then you mount each of the extruders onto the printer and attach the USB-C communication cable to the print head. Remove the 3 security screws with an arrow indicator holding down the bed. Now you can peel off the stickers on the right side of the printer, revealing the screw inserts for the filament holders, and when you attach the filament holders, make sure that they're pointing towards the outside of the printer. Now you just plug in and go through all the calibration, and you're good. The Creator 5 has a build volume of 256 millimeters cubed, which is pretty much what I'd consider the standard for a modern consumer printer. Now, would it be nice to have something larger like the K2 Pro? Definitely, but we'll have to see if Flashforge decides to step up to the plate with a larger tool changer in the future. For those of you unfamiliar with tool changer printers, this is where things get interesting. Tool changers make multi-material and multicolor printing significantly easier. With a single nozzle printer, every color or material change requires flushing filament through that same nozzle, and that can introduce several potential problems. Waste containers overflowing, color bleeding, or material contamination. And material contamination can create all sorts of issues, including poor layer adhesion, brittle parts, reduced strength, and inconsistent print quality. And a tool changer at the very least will mitigate some of those concerns. Each filament is loaded into its own dedicated nozzle, so the materials are never mixing. When the printer needs a different color or a different material, it parks the current tool head, picks up another one, it performs a quick prime, and immediately continues printing. There's very little wasted material, and tool swaps happen much faster than flushing an entire nozzle. Here's a few of the prints that I've run on the Creator 5, and the quality, I'm loving the results. Not only do the prints look great, but they print fast while generating very little waste. Take this model for example. The Creator 5 finished it in just 3 hours and 44 minutes, and the only wasted filament came from the initial purge, the prime tower, and the supports. Now compare that to this same model printed on my 85X. That print took 14 hours, and unfortunately it did fail, but look at the amount of wasted filament compared to the Creator 5. It's not even close. I also did this really cool venomized Gengar print, and for this one I used PETG as the support interface material for a PLA print. Now that did add a few hours to the print time, but it was still faster than doing the same thing on a single nozzle printer without the support interface material. The supports on every part except the mouth were easy to pull off, and I did get a bit discouraged when I got to the mouth, so I rushed the hand a little bit and the thumb came off too, but the quality of the print itself is really nice. So next time I'll be using the improved support profile and see how that turns out. Now going back to the hardware, one thing that I was surprised about is how lightweight this printer is. I was able to carry it upstairs to my office by myself without any trouble, but the downside to it being so light is that the machine can get really wobbly when it's running at high speeds, and trust me, this printer moves fast. As for the noise, it's an open frame printer. It's loud. I don't really think there's much to say about that. Now we can talk about the onboard interface, which is very straightforward and easy to navigate. So on the left side, you've got home, filament viewer, bed and tool head controls, and your settings. On the home screen, you'll see each tool head's temperature and you can tap them to make adjustments. And below that, you'll find the bed temperature, filament management, device information, lighting controls, and speed controls. One thing that might be a deal breaker for some people is that there aren't automatic filament feeders. I personally don't really care because loading filament is pretty easy, and I'm talking as someone that's used to auto feeders. Start by cutting the currently loaded filament using the filament cutter. Then you pull your filament all the way out, and then you start feeding in the new filament through the PTFE tube. When the filament reaches the extruder, just hold down the filament cutter and push the filament in a little bit further and then release. Once you do that, just open the filament viewer, select the tool head you just loaded, and edit the profile if necessary. Click on load and then hit next. Within about a minute or two, it'll purge out the old filament and load the new one. From here, you're pretty much ready to start some prints. For software, Flashforge uses Flash Studio, and you can access it from both your phone and desktop. The mobile app feels very similar to Bamboo Handy or Creality Cloud. You can browse models through categories or make direct searches. The search does have some filter options for the price, model source, license type, and color usage. Some models aren't available for direct printing, but if you select the direct print filter, you'll only see models that can be sent directly to your printer from the app. The model viewer in print preparation is extremely smooth. It allows you to move the model, rotate the model, scale it, and even adjust some of the print parameters like the layer height, infill density, supports, and even adhesion properties like a brim. But there is something really important that is lacking, and I'll talk about that in a second. The desktop software will immediately feel familiar if you've used Bamboo Studio, Orca Slicer, Creality Print, or Prusa Slicer, because really it's just another fork. The model library is powered by Voxel Share, and just like the mobile app, it integrates seamlessly into the slicer. Some companies like to fork Bamboo or Orca and customize it way too much, but in this case, everything is exactly where you expect it to be, which is great because I like the bare bones approach. Remember how earlier I was saying there's an important feature that's missing from the app? It's actually missing just in general. Basically, there's no ability to skip an object. Now, granted, I've not had a single failure on this printer so far, but this is still a huge issue because if you're doing a print with multiple parts and one piece has something go wrong with it, you have no way of stopping that specific piece. You'd have to stop the entire print if that one piece is interfering with the rest of the print. Something else I don't like is that for some reason, Flashforge changed some of the parameter names that work across other forks of the slicer. So when I load 3MF files from external websites, parameters don't load, and I find myself opening another slicer, seeing which parameters are changed, and then copying them into Flash Studio. Hopefully this is fixed soon because it is pretty tedious. Now let's talk about the camera. So Flashforge advertises it as 1280 by 720 at 30 FPS. There is no way that this camera is that at all. If the image quality looks something similar to like the K2 Pro or the High Combo, I'd believe it, but the camera is rough. The image quality is poor, the frame rate feels much lower than that. It's fine for checking whether your print is still alive, but that's about it. It honestly feels like every time I look at it, my eyes are being scratched. At least downloading a time lapse is really easy to do, but good God almighty, that camera is buns. So here's my final verdict of the Creator 5. It is an absolute beast of a 3D printer and easily my favorite one that I own. The print quality is great, print times are impressive, and you're gonna save a lot of money in the long run because it won't waste a ton of filament during multicolor or multi-material prints. Your largest expense over time is filament, so a tool changer is a great way to maximize how much filament you can put to use in your prints and improve your production times. Also love how consistent the quality is and how accurate the tool changer system is. It's actually really fun to even look at. Flashforge nailed a lot of things with this printer, and some of the things they didn't can be fixed with some software and firmware updates. What I would like to see improved in the future is the 3MF compatibility and the ability to skip objects. I'd probably put object skipping as a priority unless the 3MF compatibility is really easy to do because yeah, this is a non-negotiable. Other than those few things, honestly, I am genuinely impressed with this printer. It's been really consistent, and Flashforge, you guys did do it. I like this printer a whole lot. The next few weeks is just gonna be me pushing this printer through its paces and seeing if it has any hiccups. Like I said, so far, I haven't had a single failure at all. This printer has been really, really good to me. If you guys have any questions about the Creator 5, leave them down in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like. And if you like my content, definitely subscribe. Check out some of my other videos like my tutorials and stuff like that. And yeah, if you want to check out my other socials as well, it's the same thing here, DZ Artistries. I'm the most active on TikTok, but you can find me on multiple platforms. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and you have a dope day, and I'll see you in the next one.